And are pleased to be joined by Brewers manager Craig Counsell. Craig, always great to talk to you here. It's amazing already. You're heading into your 9th season in Milwaukee. I think Terry Francona and then Kevin Cashman, the only managers who are more tenured than you are.
And he still looks 27.
I was gonna say, man, what do you eat for breakfast?
What happened?
I mean, what's going on here?
But
We're the same age. Look at that. How'd that happen?
What's been the most fun part of being a manager for you in Milwaukee?
For me, it's where I grew up. My dad worked for the team when I was a kid. I went to the ballpark as a kid, watched Paul Molitor, Robin Yount, Hall of Fame careers, and then basically get to go to work at the same place every day, and then in the community that I grew up in. So that's pretty tough to beat, and it's still a big thrill every day.
Wow. I mean, first of all, I haven't seen you in a while. You know, we played together.
I know.
We had pretty good. That was a pretty good season. Right?
Not bad.
I still see you jumping up and down.
Yeah.
No, but you're so cool and you're so like downplay. I'm a bit of an idiot. You know, I'm all over the place. But he's living in the same place that he grew up, 14 minutes from the team you rooted for and your dad worked for.
Yeah.
Like how? Like I couldn't imagine. Like I know we were played in the big leagues, but I imagine every day like.
No.
And not to downplay what you've done because you've been awesome, but God, it couldn't be a bigger dream.
Well, I think what it does is it gives you passion for your job every day, really, because there's that sense of community and being from the community. It just means just that much more to you, and it's that motivation we all need, that inspiration we all need, that to try to bring a championship to the city and to try to bring a World Series to the city. It's a tough task. It's a hard task, but it gets you up every day to do it.
Greg, you guys do an amazing job, especially given the size of your market, to be competitive and not go through these cycles we see other teams go through, which means there's opportunities for young players. You're constantly folding them in. Give me a sense of who's out there. I know a bunch of young outfielders maybe get a shot here. Some guys who may be able to help you in the 2023 season in Milwaukee.
Yeah, certainly we've got a big group of young outfielders that we're really excited about. Garrett Mitchell is the first guy that got a chance last year and had a great month of September. Sal Frelick's a young outfielder that we drafted in the first round. That's going to be an exceptional big leaguer. Joey Weimer, Esther Ruiz, we got in a Josh Hader trade. And then Bryce Terang's an infielder. I just traded Colton Wong, and so there's a spot there, and he's ready to assume that at some point.
So how is your trip here to the winter meetings? I mean, different from some of these other managers from these huge markets. I mean, we've talked today about Justin Verlander going to the Mets, Trey Turner going to the Phillies, huge dollars, and that's just not something that has happened in Milwaukee and can happen. For the most part in Milwaukee in terms of a $300 million contract to a player. So how does that add to the difficulties of your job when you guys are trying to construct your rosters?
Yeah, it's just different, right? And we have to, largely find our players in different places. Like most every team, development is still a key. But you find your players in different places, and that's how we have to do it. That's how I think we've done a decent job of that, and we'll continue to have to do that. There's good players out there that aren't at that level financially. There's really good players out there, and that's our job, is to find them.
You know, not knowing much about what actually took place, but the Josh Hader trade, like it was from afar, it seemed like, this guy's nasty, awesome. I don't know innings and how many times he was able to pitch in a week, but was it difficult to navigate through that from where we all were sitting? It was like, are you trading to San Diego? And, your bullpen, I'm just reading here, 16 blown saves after he left. One, is an area to add and improve? And was there anything there that you can share?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think it was tough. There's no question. And, we probably all underestimated just the impact that, Josh had done a lot for the organization. Just he was a huge part of our success, right? And we had to make a very difficult decision regarding, frankly, finances and managing the players and when they're going to become free agents and things like that. And it was a very difficult decision, and unfortunately, it didn't work out in terms of making the playoffs last year. And we got to live with that. We do. We got to live with that. But we're going to probably have to. That's how it's going to have to work for us to sustain success, and we do want to sustain success, and we've set ourselves on a path of sustaining success, and we're really proud of that. And it's not easy what we've done in the past, right? And so tough decisions are part of that, and we didn't get that one right. It didn't work, and no doubt about it. You got to raise your hand and own it, right? But that doesn't mean there's not another tough decision down the road, and that also doesn't mean that we're not going to be right there competing to get in the playoffs every single year, because that's what we plan on doing.
You touched on it, the Colton Wong trade. So Colton Wong has traded the Mariners. You guys get back Jesse Winker and Abraham Toro. Talk us through why you guys made that move.
Yeah, so a little bit of it is a really good young player we think can start to assume second base or one of the infield positions. And then, getting Winker back is just a bat that we think is a really big bat. We were decent offensively last year, but we think this is a guy that we've seen play in the division quite a bit. He didn't have a great season last year. He's had some really big seasons, and we think he's ready for a really big season.
What kind of shirt you got on there?
This is Bob Uecker special, man. You go from working out, and I always have Bob close to me. There's no reason not to have Bob Uecker close to your heart. He's a beautiful man and a beautiful guy, and so I thought I'd just spice it up a little bit with a Bob Uecker T-shirt.
You do it. You can do it. It looks good.
Yeah.
How often do you you think about 97? Especially when you see this guy.
Oh my God! When I see him, I can't help but not think about '97. It's got to be. It is the biggest moment in your baseball career. This right here, buddy.
Yeah. No.
Did you ever play basketball on that right there? Serious hops. Oh, vertical, 48 inches.
No, you get chilled. It's we had 25 years this year. I was in Florida. They did a little thing. Al didn't show up. They did a little thing.
That's true.
That's true. But I still get.
I had a previous engagement.
You show that there, and I get goosebumps for sure.
So good. So good. Yeah. What a year. Yeah. We won a World Series.
Yeah, no, it's unbelievable. And what a manager.
Yeah,
And Craig Counsell doing a terrific job in Milwaukee. Been in the postseason for the last 5 years, so continued to sustain success. You guys do it very well.